Hey guys, how are you and welcome back to my channel. On today's video I'm filming a project progress, and this is gonna be the one from January 16 to this is gonna be one that goes from January 16 or 17, because today is the 17th, until February 17th. That's my cat. She holds the door stopper and pulls it so that I can hear that she's outside and I have to open the door. If not, she won't stop. So even though this year I'm doing a project pan, you guys know that project progresses are a way to just rotate my collection. It's sort of a shop my stash type of video without focusing so much on a few things that I forget about the rest of my things. If you want to see my review of the products that I chose for last month and the products that I chose for this month, then just keep on watching. So last month products were pretty successful. I finished the project today, and today was the last day that I used those products. And I'm gonna start with eyeshadow palettes. The first one being the one that I'm wearing today, and that's the Prism palette by Anastasia. I hit pan in Lure and Eden, which makes me happy because the reason that I started this series was because I wanted my makeup to look loved. And I definitely accomplished that. You will see in the next 2 weeks a 2-in-1 makeup tutorial, eyeshadow tutorial showing this palette. Another palette, and this was I think my most used palette for the month, was the Natasha Denona Tropic palette. These I purchased last year in the VIV sale, in one of the 10,000 VIV sales that Sephora had. And I wanted to get this palette since it was released, but I thought it was gonna the want of this palette was gonna go away. But it never did. And I've been enjoying it so much. On my first no-buy video, the one that I announced that I was gonna do my no-buy, I did an eye look with this eyeshadow and it just turned out so beautifully. Since then, I've used all of the shades except for these 3 bright ones. I've used all of them and I truly like them. I love that this eyeshadow palette can help you create a look that's super bold, but mostly you can use it for every day, and that for me is perfection in a palette. And I always love the way these are made. I love how Natasha Denona creates her palettes. I love that it's a makeup artistry point of view, the way she puts together colors, the way that you can create looks, and it's even more versatile than you would imagine. I love that about her palette. So this is a definite success of a purchase. I would recommend this palette for sure. If you have the money to spend on it, then it's a good purchase, taking into account the color scheme. If the color scheme is something that you know you would use and you have nothing like it in your collection, this formula of eyeshadows, it's like nothing I've ever experienced. For me, the eyeshadow game is at either ABH or Natasha Denona. Being 2 different formulas, they're both amazing in my opinion. This is another end of the year purchase for me. I've been using it for 2 months straight. So this was my least used of the 4 eyeshadow palettes that I chose for this month, but I loved it anyway. It's just so pretty, and I know that this will be more of a staple in my makeup kit. This says bridal to me. You guys can see right here, the color scheme is so beautiful, and I've used them a ton. I love this formula. I truly do. I wish they had more shades of this formula. Maybe they will do them in new upcoming palettes, but I truly love this eyeshadow formula from Huda Beauty. I would recommend this palette again. It was a successful purchase, and I love the concealed shade. I think it's a wonderful thing to have in an eyeshadow palette. This is another one that I loved, but I have to say that I prefer the Tropic one. I don't mind that it doesn't have shimmers because I have so many shimmers in other palettes that I can go and reach for them. But a few of the shades are harder to work with, and this doesn't make me love it less because I have the Subculture palette and people hate it, but I do love that palette. And this is sort of the same concept as that. It's more of a makeup artistry palette, but I found that you can use a few of the lighter shades beautifully for every day as well, and you can create smoky eyes and everything. These 3 shades were the ones that I didn't use, but the rest of them, I use them all. I love tamarind. I love a lot of things about this palette. It just wasn't as breathtaking for me as the Tropic palette, and I thought I was gonna love this one more. So yeah, I know I will keep using them because Natasha Denona eyeshadows, like I said, are within my top 2 favorites when it comes to eyeshadow, but this wasn't as good for me as the Tropic palette. For bronzer, I have one that I can't show it to you, but you will see it on an upcoming empties. It's Bali Sands by Becca, and I finished that completely. Basically, that was the main bronzer that I used for the entire month until I finished it, and then I started rotating between the other ones that I had. The other one that I had that I used a ton but I haven't finished yet, it's the Bronzy Skin Perfector by Becca, and this takes forever to use up. And as a bronzer, it takes even more time than as a primer. I would recommend it if you like cream products. Right now, the reason why I stopped using it is because I started a project pan. I'm gonna leave it someplace on the screen, and I chose a foundation that's a little bit darker to use as a cream bronzer, and that has been my bronzer almost every day, so I sort of forgot about this one. So I've decided that as soon as I finish the bronzer or the foundation that I have as a bronzer on my project pan, I will use the Bronzing Skin Perfector. But this is so beautiful on the skin on top of foundation. It looks flawless. Now the next 3 bronzers I'm gonna show you, I used them, but I didn't use them as much as I would have liked because I was focusing on finishing Bali Sands. The first one is MAC Aphrodite's Shell, and I used it because the pattern is going away completely, but it wasn't as much as I could have. I like this bronzer, but even though it looks sort of cool tone, when I swatch it, it's just something about the shade that doesn't quite work for me when I'm this pale. When I'm darker, it works for me a little bit better. Then one that you guys know that is one of my favorites, and I used it, is just that this will take forever for me to use up. It's beautiful though. It's the Too Faced Sweet Tea Bronzer. And these I've been using for ages, and this is definitely a favorite in my collection. When it comes to shimmery bronzers, I'm not a fan. I love them, I love the concept of them, but I don't use them realistically. But this one I do use. It's just that I always go through matte bronzers faster. And these I use this time way more than the last time that I put it on a Project Progress. This is the Fantastic Bronzer Omega Bronze by Marc Jacobs. I think this is gonna be a product that I will pan this year because I finish a ton of bronzers, and this is definitely one of my favorites that I have in my collection now, and I'm running out of favorites in my bronzer collection. So I know that this will be a staple, and I'm happy because it's a huge pan. So focusing on this one will help me not spend one of my 6 to 12 available items to purchase on my No Buy Year. My 2 NARS blushes. The first one is Orgasm, and I definitely made the pan bigger, and I truly like this blush. This is just a blush that I finish time after time, and I think it works for everyone. It's one of those colors that you can use every day and never feel that you're just lacking something on your face. It looks beautiful, it looks glittery, but not in a rude way. It's just beautiful. NARS knows how to make blushes for sure. And then I have also Impassioned, and these I'm wearing today with another one of the blushes that I have that I'm gonna show you. It's one of the most beautiful nude blushes that I have. Even though it looks pink, it's definitely a nudie pink, and I think it looks stunning paired with a lot of things. When you're doing an eye that's super rude, grosero, like we say in Spanish, that is just out there, like this one that I'm wearing today, when you wear this, it complements the look beautifully. I guess I've changed my mind about this blush because it was a favorite as soon as I got it. But I'm not that dark, and these I struggle for it to show up on my skin. Maybe it's the shade. I'm wearing it today, and it gives the skin a beautiful glow, but it doesn't give me the flush that I would like it to give me. These are the strobe lighting blushes. And then on the other hand, I have the ambient lighting blush in Radiant Magenta. And these I love, but I know that I would love it more if it wasn't a pink shade. And I will keep using it. I love this formula for sure. I love it more than this one. I don't know if it's the shade that makes me struggle with this one, but I love this formula a ton. I don't know why I got a pink shade. I think when I got them, they were just released. I was in a pink phase. If I sell a few blushes, because I'm decluttering and selling a few things from my makeup collection, I may pick up a Dim Infusion because that's a corally shade, and I think that would suit me better and I would use more in my collection. But I truly love the formula of this one over this one. You need to be extremely pale for it to show up. If not, you have to build it a ton, and the more you build it, the more shimmery it gets, and sometimes I don't want that amount of shimmer. I will keep them in my collection though. I know I use them because I've used this a ton as well, but I don't love it as much as I thought I did. And I love this formula, and now I'm gonna reach for it more, but I wish I gotten a different shade back when I got them. For highlighters, I had 3. The first one is Ballerina by Laura Geller. This was basically unused, and you can see that it looks worn. It's not as light. I thought it was a light pink because of the Ballerina name, but it turned out to be darker. I loved it anyway. I used it a ton for the first 2 weeks. This was basically the only one that I would use, and I would sort of use it to mesh my highlighter with my blush and then put a lighter highlighter on top, and it looked beautiful, or just to give a glow to my blushes. Now I'm gonna use this one more than I was doing because I basically had this new and untouched for a while. The one that I used the most for sure was the Anastasia Beverly Hills So Hollywood. I don't know if they discontinued this product, but this is definitely one of the best highlighters that I have in my collection. The pattern is already almost gone. It's the highlighter that I'm wearing today, and I'm in love with it. I think I will use this for years to come because highlighters take forever to finish. And from time to time, I will rotate it into my makeup kit because it's just a stunning gold highlighter. And I think these are way better than the palettes that Anastasia makes. So if she was gonna remove something, it should be those palettes and not a product like this one that's more versatile, because if you want to get one shade or another shade depending on your skin tone, you could have just done that instead of buying a palette in which you're basically gonna use 1 or 2 shades and leave the other 2 unused. This one I used, but it was definitely one that I used the least, and I know it's because of the color, because the formula is beautiful. The times that I used it, I would mix it with So Hollywood, or I will use it as an inner corner or brow bone highlight. So that means this will take me forever to finish. Maybe I will put this permanently on my kit for when I have lighter, super light skin clients. But I don't see myself hitting pan on it, using it on myself. It's just too light for me. For foundation, I don't have any of the 3 that I chose to show you, because one I left in my room and I don't want to waste time looking for it. Is NARS Stromboli Sheer Glow, and that I made a huge dent to it. It's already more than halfway gone, but I stopped using it for the past like 2 weeks because I'm super light. Then for NARS Ceylon, I had about 3 to 4 uses left, and my dad tripped over something, knocked it over, and broke it. So I put that in my empties to show you guys. That foundation, it's beautiful. I'm not gonna repurchase any foundations right now because I have a few that I need to go through, but that one is done finally, and you will see this one also on my empties. The Hourglass Illusion Skin Tint, it's also gone. And that one, I used to love it. It used to be a favorite, but I was just struggling to use it up. It was never a long-lasting product, but my skin wasn't having it. It didn't hold my oils. So those are 2 foundations gone and a bronzer gone. And I hit pan in 2 shades of a palette that I chose. So far, this project progress has been amazing. And then another product, and these I think I'm gonna put in a block sale. These I used as a blush a couple times. This is the Bobbi Brown Retouching Powder in the shade Pink. Under my eyes, I didn't really like it because I prefer to use just one powder. I don't like going through the hassle of just using a couple powders to set my face. I use one setting powder and one buffing powder, and that's it. I don't think I'm gonna be using pink powder anytime soon. So I will just try and sell this. If not, I will put it in a project pan or use it as a blush and put it in my blush drawer. So I used it about 5 to 6 times, which is way more than I would have if I would have kept it in my powder drawer. And the last two powders, this one I made huge progress, and this is gonna be passing over to my project pan for next month. And this is the Too Faced Peach Perfect powder. It was basically right here. So I've gone more than halfway, and I will finish this next month. I'm gonna be sad when it's gone, but I'm gonna be happy as well because I will tackle a few more products from my collection. But I've been using this every day. I truly enjoy it. It doesn't bore me. I just love it. I love this powder. And then the powder that I've been using to buff against my will because I prefer my radiant light. It's the Ethereal Light by Hourglass. I thought I was going to use this for my under eyes. I did a couple times, but like I said, I don't like setting my face with two different powders. I set it with one and then I buff with another. So then for me to use this, I was using it to buff and it worked fine. I'm so light right now that this looks as if I was using... Radiant Light looks a little bit too dark for me right now. So this buffs my skin beautifully. This month I'm gonna switch it up, but I know that when I finish the powder that I will put for next month, I will go back to this one to just play with it more and try and finish it. So now I'm gonna show you the products that I chose from today to next month, and I'm gonna start with eyeshadow palettes. Okay, so last year was the year of eyeshadow palettes, and I got this one from Morphe because I haven't done a 2018 beauty favorites. If you guys want to see that, please let me know in the comments below and I will happily do that for you. I don't have a crazy amount of products, but I have products that I truly loved last year. And one of the products that I fell in love with is Morphe eyeshadows. They didn't call my name before, but I tried the Jaclyn Hill palette. It didn't blow my mind, and then I started to fall in love with it. But then when I bought the 3502, I died with that formula. So I felt that I needed to pick this one up. And the reason why is because I truly have nothing like this in my collection. I may have the brown shades, but these reddish, these purples, and these greens, I do not have in my collection. Even the oranges, I have similar shades to the orange colors that you see here, but I don't have colors like this exactly. And the greens, like I said, even though I have the green brown palette by Natasha Denona, these are different type of greens. And I truly like this formula, and I think they're so versatile for my kit. They're high quality shadows in my opinion. I've truly fallen in love with them last year. I'm not a sponsor by Morphe, and I'm not hoping to be a sponsor by them. So I know people hate on Morphe. I'm not a Morphe lover, but I've been loving their eyeshadows and a few brushes. If you're starting with makeup and your mom and your dad want to give you something and you want to try colors and you want to learn to play with colors and makeup, this is a good way to start with pigmented shadows and high performing shadows for a more affordable price. They're not Anastasia, they're not Natasha Denona, but they're definitely good. So this is one of the palettes that I chose for this month. And then I wanted to visit some ex-boyfriends, and the first one is the NARS Loaded palette. This was in a Project Progress a while ago, and I hit pan in one shade, but I think this eyeshadow palette is beautiful. I think NARS is changing their eyeshadow formula so good that I don't know why they make them limited edition, because they could just have 3 palettes that are permanent and that have different shade range that people can just buy and have them, and they can have eyeshadow palettes that are timeless in my opinion. Like this one, this is a timeless eyeshadow palette, and I love this formula. I truly do. I love boring eyeshadow palettes like this one. I don't find them to be boring, I find them to be realistic. So the other palette that I have here is the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. And this was also at one point in a Project Progress, and I hit pan in 3 shades, but I've been missing it. I was looking and going through my palette collection. I saw a video and I knew I wanted to pull this one back out because this is one of my favorite palettes in my collection. It sparks joy. The colors here, these purples, I don't wear them as often, and in a way this reminds me of Boss Mood by Morphe, the one that I just showed you, but in a smaller size. And I also want to compare the formula and see which one I would recommend now that I have them both and now that I play with Morphe shadows. But this is a good palette, definitely. In the next weeks, you're gonna see a haul. These are products that I got on that haul, and they're all NARS eyeshadows. 2 duos and 2 singles. I got this on Hot Look or Nordstrom Rack online, and they were super affordable, and I truly love NARS duos. I had a few singles, but I wasn't into them, and these two that I got, one of them I wanted since forever when it was released, and then it got sold out and I wasn't able to get it, and I saw it and it was on sale, and I've been using it a ton already. The first duo that I have here is Subaraya, and this one I used already. It's so beautiful and it's so everyday. Definitely a good one to travel. And I know these are my colors, so it's good to have them here. If you want to see me do a makeup look with single shadows or whatever, I can do that. This is the one that I was talking to you guys about, and this is Outer Limits. This was the one that I wanted to try when it was released, and I was gonna buy it and I wasn't able to purchase it. You will see right here, this is basically just a shimmery eyeshadow. It looks stunning as a topper. It's glittery, it's perfection. And I found that this is one of those rare single shadows that I find myself going back to. It's sort of like the Tarte pots, the glittery pots that they have. It's sort of something like that, that even though you are using an eyeshadow palette, you want to use this on your eye look to make it better. And these sound stupid, but I got it because of the name, because I love New York. I just wanted to have a few NARS eyeshadows and play with them. This color though, it's a color that I see myself playing with, and I will just start using it this month. I use it for one look, but I just used it once. These I haven't touched, and it's Chiang Mai. If I don't use this month, I will just sell it because it's brand new and I haven't even swatched it, and I don't feel that I want to swatch it if I'm not gonna use it. So I will let you guys know how that goes. But those are the other shadows that I chose for this Project Progress. For bronzers, I truly want to finish the Terracotta Guerlain bronzer. I hate the mesh and the packaging on this product. I like the formula, but I hate the mesh. So I cut it out, and I think with the amount of product that I have left, I'll be able to finish it. Even if I rotate the rest of them from time to time, this is the one that I'm gonna be focusing on the most. And then I have this one that I got sent by Kevin O'Quan and Octoly, and I got it and never used it. This has a highlighter, a blush, and a bronzer, but when you mix it, it's supposed to be basically a blushy, highlighty bronzer. This is in the color Sienna. It's the Neo Bronzer. And it says, this unique highlighter, blush, and bronzer in one maximizes skin glow with vibrant, luminous color to create the perfect sun-kissed complexion all year long. Swipe all 3 colors together for the illusion of naturally tanned skin, or use them individually to customize your perfect bronze. And for me, it's just a good idea. I love bronzers like this that they give you a sun-kissed look. That's why I chose it. And these haven't been touched, not even once. I haven't even swatched it. So I think it's a good time to just pull it back out and maybe fall in love with it, since I reduced my bronzer collection so much with the amount of bronzers that I've been finishing. Then I chose one that it's gonna serve me well when I don't want to use my Guerlain bronzer, and it's the NARS Seaside bronzer. I prefer Laguna and I prefer the regular NARS formula, but this will work because I'm super pale and this is the palest of this formula. Is this color right here, and it's sort of a formula that's hard to pan and that's hard to go through because it's so harshly pressed, and it's sort of a gelé type of formula, but it looks beautiful on the skin. It's just not my favorite formula, and I just want to tackle that one. Now I want to add all the time shimmery bronzers to my bronzers pick for Project Progress, and I chose this time the Betty Luminizer. I think this bronzer, I will play with it even more than Sweet Tea from Too Faced because it's just so versatile. This can be used as eyeshadow, as a body bronzer. These last forever. These I hit pan on, but since then I repressed it, so that's why it looks a little bit mushy. But I'm hoping that I can hit pan on it again. It's just so stunning. For highlighter, I chose this one because it's in my project pan right now. This is the NARS Super Orgasm Illuminator Liquid. I'm not going to talk about it because you guys have seen me talking about it before. It's beautiful and I need to go through it because I'm not that into liquid highlighters. So I prefer to have only two that I love and I know which ones those are than having that one in my collection right now and letting it just sit there. I need to finish it up. And then I chose this because I haven't played with this for ages and I love this. I even remember the day when I picked it up. This is Indiscretion by Laura Mercier. And it was the limited edition when I got it. Now it's permanent. A stunning rose gold highlighter. It's just so beautiful. And the formula of these highlighters, it's perfection. These I'm also hoping to be self-tan to use more because when I'm the color that I am right now, I need to use it with a super light hand. But these also can be used on your face, your body, your shoulders, whatever. It's beautiful and you can see the pattern is just perfection. This highlighter has basically 4 years and I haven't touched it. And it's a limited edition shimmer brick by Bobbi Brown and it's in the shade Copper Diamond. This can be used as an eyeshadow palette. If I don't use this month, I will just sell it. And it's just a beautiful gold highlighter. It's not that I need gold highlighters because I have a ton, but I got this. Why wouldn't I just try and use it? And I will play with it a ton this month, hopefully. And I will let you guys know how it goes. And I'm going to show you the other two highlighters that I know I will use the most. Both of them are holy grail, but one is more versatile than the other. So this is the one that I'm going to use the most for sure. This is a Snow Bunny by Too Faced, and these I had one and finished it. And this is just a beautiful highlighter. It's so underrated, and I think they discontinued it because I can't find it anywhere. These also I got at Nordstrom Rack for $9, and I would pay full price for it. I had it before, paid full price for it, and finished it. So that's how much I love it. I would pay full price for it, but if you can get it on sale, even better if it's an item that you were already gonna get or planning on getting. And I love that you can customize it. You can make it darker or lighter, pinkier or bronzy. I think it was last year that this came out, yeah. It was my favorite purchase of the year, I think, besides the Natasha Denona palettes. This was, I saw it and it sparked joy immediately. And this is the Becca's Shimmer Skin Perfector in the shade Dreamsicle. Right on this side, I used it when I got it. And this is the type of product that I would use as a blush topper, as a highlighter. And it's an orangey, peachy highlighter. So pretty. And it looks so beautiful on the cheeks. Of course, it shows better on my skin when I have a little bit of a tan. But it shows beautifully as a blush when I'm as light as I am right now. So it's also versatile, and this formula is definitely one of my top formulas of highlighter. Becca has amazing highlighters. I've been just making myself not purchase the limited edition that they have been releasing because I was collecting them and I have a ton of them. I will leave someplace on the screen my Becca collection of highlighters, but I have so many highlighters that even though they spark joy, because highlighter are the thing in my collection that even though you don't wear them on your entire face, so even though they spark joy, I don't have enough room on my face, even on my clients, to finish the amount of highlighters that I have. So these I adore, and I will make sure that I use it a ton, and I will make sure that I don't purchase highlighters. I don't have room for them in my collection. For blushes, I chose 5. The first one is Sin, and the packaging is broken. It's one of my most unique blushes. It's sort of a lilac-y lavender shade. It's a nudie shade with gold. So it's a weird type of shade, and it's beautiful. It's just that I don't reach for them, and I want to make myself reach for them more. And the ones that are broken, if I do not reach for them, I will create a C palette with them and just put them permanently on my kit. And over there, I will make sure that I use every blush that I have. Then this one, I tried to sell it and I sold a lot of blushes, but these people were not even looking at. And I think this was the prettiest of the ones that I was selling. This is the Lorac Bake Matte Satin Blush in Flaunt. And oh my goodness, it's a beautiful pink. It's a beautiful pink. And the formula is just stunning. I want to always rotate a pink blush in my project progress because from time to time I just do whatever shade I do on my cheeks and then just put a little bit of pink on the apples of my cheeks. So this will be the apples of my cheek kind of blush. This is a video from Urban Decay, and this was also on sale, but this was the one that I had on a wish list for about 2 years. I just had too many blushes and I've been really stopping myself from shopping blush for about 2 years or more. It looks a lot like Madly, and Madly is a blush that I hit pan on. So this is a smart purchase. It just wasn't smart because I didn't have the money to buy it and I bought it anyway. But it's a blush that I know I will use a ton on myself and on my kit. And then these two I wanted to try because they're affordable and I can recommend them on my Spanish channel because in Colombia you can actually get Essence. So I bought these two. These are the Satin Touch Blush by Essence, and one is in Satin Coral and the other one is in Satin Love. These are colors that I know I will use and love, and I already love the formula because I've tried them a few times. So now having them in my project progress will mean that I will truly get to love them. And I think this formula is so affordable for the quality of the blushes. For setting powder, like I said, I will keep using this until I finish it. This is the Too Faced Beach Perfect. But now I also want to finish this one, and this is Dim Light by Hourglass. And you can see that it's almost gone. The pan is huge. So this is the one that I want to be able to finish this year and just remove it from my collection. I don't think I'm going to pick it up again, even though it's a nice shade. I think I would prefer to have Diffuse Light and Radiant Light. Diffuse Light is better for my ethnicity. We are mostly yellow, and then Radiant Light for more bronzy type of skin. These I've loved for years. If I didn't, it wouldn't have the pan that it has. But I don't want it anymore in my collection, so I want to just finish it. And I'm happy that I loved it, but it's just time to move on. I'm not enjoying it as much as I used to. For foundations, I put 3 in here. The first one is the Wet n Wild foundation, and I'm gonna move the spatula so you guys can see. This is basically gone. I'm moving the spatula and you can see that there's no product in there. So I have a few uses left. I'm gonna see if I can finish it this month and just remove it from my foundation collection. These I love, but the undertone is not quite right. It's the foundation that I'm wearing today. It looks a little bit pinky, so I have to basically fix it with powder, and it's a little bit darker than what I would like. I want a shade that's a little bit more yellow and a little bit lighter. If you guys know from the Wet n Wild formula which shade would be a little bit lighter and more yellow than bronze beige, let me know, because I can't seem to know what my right shade for that foundation is, and I'm creating a list of the right shade for foundations for me because I always buy foundations that are way too dark for me. And then I put this one in here because I used to love it, but I haven't used it in a while. This is the Dior Skin Forever in the shade 021. When I got it, I used it for about 15 days straight, but it's basically new. And then this one, I got it a while ago and I never use it. I wanted to just let it sit so that you guys can see that it's just right here. This is the NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation. I know I will not fall in love with it because if it's luminous, the consistency is not right for my skin type, but I do not mind wearing products that do not last as long on my skin for a day to day. And I just want to finish my products. So yeah, guys, this video was about 12 hours long. I'm sorry for that, but those are the products that I chose to enjoy this month. They were my shop, my stash, and I have to say I was super excited to change it up. I love the products that I chose for last month and it was super successful, but I wanted to switch it up. I love organizing my 2 top drawers and making everything look put together and beautiful, and just get more creative tomorrow, because as soon as I do my project progress, the first week is my most creative week, and I truly love switching up my collection. I love my makeup and I want it to look super loved. don't forget that I'm in a no buy year, so this is the year to just play with my stuff, love my stuff, and not try new stuff. And just leave a comment below telling me what you want to see on my 2-in-1 makeup looks, with which palette you want to see, or what product you want me to talk about more. And I guess I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.